Okay, am I audible? Okay. So guys, we will be starting the session officially at 10 a.m. So till then, if you have any questions, general questions, then you can ask. I'll try to answer them. So we have one question: which is the best language for competitive coding? What I feel is it can be anything you are comfortable with. What I have seen more on HackerRank is I'm more comfortable with Python. So there are a lot of competitive coding questions, which if solved in Python, it would be easier. But yes, it can be any which you're comfortable with. We still have 1 minute left, and then I'll start the session officially. Okay, so I guess I should start now. So hi everyone. I'm Hetal Mangukia, and I completed my bachelor's in computer engineering from GC Bhavnagar and passed out recently in 2019. Right now, I am pursuing my master's in applied computing from University of Windsor in Ontario, Canada. So, what I would be talking about today is in what areas you should concentrate so that your chances to get admit in prestigious universities increases, and what life here as a student is in Canada. So firstly, I would like to talk about the scope here, for which branch there is better scope. Obviously, nowadays soft branches like computer, IT, and electrical are people are more opting towards them. So for taking admission in those courses, there is a lot of competition. And job wise also, if we talk about salaries, then I feel what I have seen till now is an IT professional or any job which is related to computers developing or anything, be it technician or yes developer, the wage, the salary of that person is quite high. Uh, if we compare it with other jobs. So like a minimum wage in here in Canada is $14 an hour, and what my course offers, the co-op, we get around $22 to $35 an hour in co-op only, and then when we start our job, our salary increases. So I would like to start talking about the process. So mainly there are three intakes for admission in masters. It's January, May, and September. The biggest intake is September. The biggest, I'm telling it is because many courses are available to get admit to in September. A very few universities and a very few courses uh, start in May. So we have to go to that particular university's website for that particular course and check whether that course is available for May or not. But yes, for January and September, most of the courses are available. And you should apply minimum at least 8 months prior to your course start date. And at the time you apply, you should have three things which are mandatory. First is around 2 to 3 LOR. LOR, that is a letter of recommendation. Second is SOP, that is statement of purpose. Third is your IELTS physical scorecard, and you should have the result of your bachelor's. If you have completed 7 SEM, then 7 SEM results and transcript as well, which we can get from our GTU University, GTU from Jankheda. So you can get LOR, that is letter of recommendation, from your professors, or if you have working experience, then you can get it from your team lead or manager as well. And SOP is statement of purpose, in which you have to write that why you chose this particular course you're applying for, why you chose that particular universities you have applied to, why you are so much interested in that course. So you have to research that course, you have to see which subjects that course covers, and then you have to write different SOPs for different universities accordingly. And whether to give you admission or not, uh, by reading your SOP matters a lot. So like you have to give a very good amount of time while creating your SOP. Okay. And yes, as I told, you should apply at least 8 months prior to the course start date. So uh, after you give your IELTS, you will get your online result after 13 to 15 days, and you will get the physical form of result after a week or two after you get the online results. So it would take around 25 days for getting your result on your hand. So plan your IELTS accordingly so that you don't get late in applying for admission. And also, the result of IELTS is valid for 2 years. So it is okay if you appear for IELTS around 20 months before your course start date. So that would give you enough time to think and research for which universities you want to apply, which courses you want to see, and all that stuff. And if you want to apply through a consultancy or not, you can also research. It's not compulsory that you have to apply through consultancy. If you are familiar with the process, you can apply on your own as well. So you can do all this research and take decision on your own. So appearing to IELTS a bit early would be very beneficial. And yeah, I would like this session to be interactive. So like please ask any questions if you have. We will have a Q&A at the end of the session. But if you have any questions right now or in between the session, please ask. I'll try to cover them. So yeah, so what I did was I wanted to apply for January 2020. So I applied on around May 2019, and I applied and I appeared for IELTS on September 2018. And so after appearing for IELTS, I was finding a proper consultancy through which I could apply. and I had enough time, so I found a good consultancy, and I had already researched the universities which I had to apply. I wanted to apply, and the courses which I would like to opt to. So the process went pretty smooth for me. So um, and if you go to any consultancy, you do your own research a bit. Don't completely rely on consultancy. Uh, if they emphasize on something, but you have read something else, then like please go with what you wish to, not with what the consultancy wants you to do. So do a bit of your own research before you take any decision. And even taking the decision of pursuing your further studies abroad, leaving your country, uh, be sure that this is what you really want to do, because you are investing a lot of time and money on this thing. And I'm telling you this because I have seen people who have paid their fees, applied for visa, and they are backing off at the last minute because they realize that this is not something they want to do. They don't want to live away from the family in some different country and pursue their masters. So, like, before you start any of this process, be sure that this is really what you want to do. So, I am emphasizing on applying at least 8 months before the course starts, because after you get your offer letter, then and then only you will be able to apply for your student visa. So the chances of getting offer letter earlier is if you apply early. Okay. So if you have your offer letter on hand, then and then only you can apply for your visa. And you can apply for your visa uh, by two ways. You can apply for SDS visa or non-SDS visa. SDS is student direct stream, and for applying through SDS, you need three things. First is that your 1 year, whole 1 year tuition fees has to be paid. So after you pay the fees, the university will give you official receipt, which will work as proof that you have paid 1 year fees. So you have to use that receipt while applying for visa. Second is you will need GIC. GIC is Guaranteed Investments Certificate. You have to open a bank account in Canada, any of the Canadian banks. You have to deposit around 10,000 Canadian dollars in that bank. So those dollars will be proof for the government that you can be on your own. If you come here, if you don't do any job, then you can at least pay your own bills, pay your rent, and pay your groceries as well. Pay for your groceries as well. So you won't like you you can live here through those $10,000 for 1 year. So that is also mandatory, and you will have to give a medical examination as well. So these things are needed for applying through SDS visa. And if any of these requirements do not match, then you have to apply through non-SDS visa. What I know is SDS files are processed faster than non-SDS files. So it would, if you are financially capable, then I would suggest to apply through SDS visa. So what I talked till now are the mandatory things that you need to apply for admission for masters or any other course you are willing to take here. But there are a lot of other criterias which would make your profile better and increase your chances as well for admission. And a good CGPA is one of those different criterias. There are a lot of other things which universities take into account. They are your IELTS score. If you're a computer or IT student, then your personal projects, your portfolio, your GitHub profile. If you have published any research papers, that would also be a plus point. If you have participated in various events other than studies, like different hackathons, then also that would be great, because you can show this in your resume, and that would make your resume stronger, and even like eventually your profile stronger. And if you have experience, that would also be great. And if possible, be active on LinkedIn as well as Twitter. So first, I would like to talk about the IELTS. So IELTS, if your future long-term goal is getting a PR here in Canada, then IELTS would be very important because for applying for student visa for studying here, you will need to apply for academic IELTS. And when you're applying for PR after reaching here, after completing your masters, when you're applying for PR, you'll have to again appear for general IELTS. So it would be very useful in future as well. So be very serious about your IELTS. Just don't think that I'll give it again. If you are not confident, don't give your IELTS just right away. Be confident, practice a lot, give a lot of mock tests, and then only appear for IELTS because it costs around 13,000 rupees. And not only that, be confident because if you are not able to clear it in one go, obviously you can have many chances, but I I feel that your confidence will degrade. So be confident, do your best, take a lot of mock tests, and after you think that you can crack it, then only appear for it. And what there are four parts: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Most of the students feel that writing and reading are a bit difficult than speaking and listening, and the only way out is practice. Uh, for reading, the time given, most of the students feel that the 1 hour time given is less, so they are not able to complete all of the modules in 1 hour. And there is only one way: you have to practice, so that you get hand on particular techniques, so that you will be able to complete those modules on time. And for writing, you have to concentrate a lot on your vocab as well as grammar and also punctuations. So that will also be taken care of while practicing a lot. And now, computer based IELTS is also possible. So if you think that your handwriting is not good, or if you think that the person who is checking will not be able to understand your handwriting, if you feel that you have a good typing speed, then you can appear for computer based IELTS as well. So yes, you have both chances now. And speaking and listening are quite easier, I feel. But still, give a lot of mock tests. I emphasize on that. Give a lot of mock tests for that. And while you're giving mock tests, don't just like after giving listening test, you go around, eat, have your lunch, and come back and give reading, then surf a bit on Instagram, and then come back and give writing. No, don't do like that. Uh, Sit continuously for 3 hours, like it is on the real test, and give your mock test that way, so that you will feel the stress. You will know that you are not able to sit continuously for 3 hours, but you need to practice that way. So I emphasize that give your mock test by continuously sitting for 3 hours. And if you think that you are very good on listening but you are very poor on reading, then you can give 2 or 3 reading tests continuously. So you can arrange accordingly what you feel that you need to practice more. Um, Other thing is yeah, personal projects. So if you have written on your resumes about few technologies, for example, Django, Angular, then there should be at least 2 or 3 different projects reflecting those skills. Okay, so that would prove that no, you have written those skills, you have made projects on this, so you are confident in that particular thing. Okay, and as much as possible, work on your personal projects, be it small projects, mini projects, or bigger ones. Make a lot of projects because that will help you enhance your skills, also make your profile stronger. Okay. Um and other thing is experience. So like if you're experienced in working in IT field, then that would be great. But if not, then obviously now if you are 2020 pass out student and you want to apply for 2021 term, then you won't be having experience. But you can do internships during your bachelor's. You can do internships. I think you can do them during your last sem, and that would also be very much useful. I completed in 2019, did a 3 months internship, and then started in Jan 2020. And that internship proved very beneficial to me. I got to learn a lot, a lot. So, if possible, do as many internships as you can in the field which interests you, obviously. Uh, and what one mistake I made was I didn't care much about any research paper or something. I didn't had knowledge at that time that what to do, how to publish research paper, what actually a research paper is. If you are planning to go into thesis, then it would be really great. Try to publish at least one or two research papers of your subject of study. That would be really helpful to get into a good university you are aiming to, because there are a lot of universities which have a very high standard, and now because a lot of students are trying to come here in Canada, uh, the universities have made it very tough for international students to get into. They have made their like minimum requirements for IELTS from like 7 to 7.5, or from 7.5 to 8. So like they are increasing the levels. So if these small things are taken care of, then it would be, a plus point. So yeah. And you also, if you have participated in events like um, various hackathons. Obviously, there are a lot of virtual hackathons taking place now, and various summer of codes. Then it would be very helpful. Recently, our University of Windsor, organized WinHacks, which was a 3 days hackathon. It wasn't supposed to be virtual, but because of this COVID situation, they shifted the whole program online, and it was a great success. And there are a lot of other platforms, a lot of other events you can participate, like GSOC, that is Google Summer of Code, RGSOC, that is Real Girl Summer of Code, GSSOC, that is Girl Script Summer of Code, Outreachy, and there are other various online hackathons that take place. Participate in that individually or as a team, gain experience, and if you don't win, you can gain a very good experience of teamwork. You can get a good hand on version control. You can know how to use project management system. So all those skills would be developed, and your existing skills would be enhanced. So it would be really great if you uh, participate more and more in events like these. And try to make your if you don't have one, please make your portfolio. It can be just a single page static website, no matter what, but just have one portfolio, which includes links to your profile, GitHub profile, your LinkedIn profile, your Twitter profile if you have one, your mail ID. If someone wants to connect to you on Facebook, then your Facebook profile. And if you're writing blogs, then technical blogs, then you can include them as well. You can showcase your skills, your projects, your interests, your hobbies, anything you like. And it would throw a really good impact on the recruiters as well, because you have taken time, you have made your own profile, you have showcased your skills. So uh, that would make you stand out. And if you don't have a LinkedIn account yet, or don't have a GitHub account yet, then please make one, because for IT students, GitHub is must, because in real world we have to work using version control, we have to work on project management systems, and uh, GitHub is a large open source platform for different projects, and it is used by many of the organizations. So using version control uh, is must. And at first it would be a bit tricky. It would seem complex, but on continuously using it, on participating in events, on pushing your projects online, you'll get a hand on it, and then you'll like to do you'll like to contribute to others projects on GitHub as well. And that would help you get a good hand on it. um, we have a few questions here right now. Impact of COVID-19 on international students for fall 2020. So, I don't know about other universities, but what my university has done is, the students who were supposed to come here in May 2020, first, the university offered them option to withdraw from the course, or to defer their term from May to September, so that they defer their admission, and they were given option to attend the school from September. And there was third option that they can start their course from June instead of May, but their course would be a bit shorter and compact in size. So now, as the COVID situation is not getting any better, the university has taken classes online for the students who were supposed to come in May. So now, on June, their online classes will start. So they can attend the classes staying at at their home country. So uh, this is the situation for May students. So students who are coming in fall, if the situation of COVID doesn't get any better, then I think you will be given option to attend the classes online or defer your admission for January 2021. But yeah, yeah, you will be given option to defer. Yeah, but till then the situation I think will get better. So like no need to worry about that, because it has started getting better, and will soon reopen in the next few days. So yeah, that's good news. Which province would be best to get in Canada, either for study or to do field work? uh, if you are planning to study and coming here on student visa, then don't concentrate on province. Concentrate on which course you want to study, which course interests you, um, and which university you want to go. Don't focus on province. But if you are like coming directly in express entry through PR, then it depends on the points you have. If you have enough points, you can come in Ontario. But if you don't have enough points, then you have to go in other provinces where population is very less, like Prince Edward Island or Nova Scotia, I guess. Uh, so that you can go there. And I think after a few years, you can shift wherever you want. So, yeah, but if you're coming here as a student, then I think it would be better if you go with the course you want to take, and later on you can shift wherever you want to go. After completing your study for job, you can shift wherever you want to go. uh, what is the average fees for master's course? Well, it depends on the university. uh, for my university, uh, the whole course fees sums up to around $35,000. For other universities, it's higher. For a few universities, it's low. So you can get this information from that particular university's website for that particular course, because it varies for course as well. Yeah. So yeah. So what I was talking about is participation in various events like hackathons and various summer of codes. So what you will gain from this is, you will that will help you extend your network, which is a very good thing. The bigger your network is, the more it will help you. uh, and you'll get hand on GitHub as well, and it will help you enhance your skills, and it will make you confident. So try to participate in these type of events as much as possible. and that will help make your profile a lot stronger. So this was about applying and the process for applying and which areas you should concentrate, which increase your chances for admit. Obviously, apart from this, your marks are also important, but these are other things which most of students don't give importance to, but universities take these criteria as well a lot into consideration. And as a lot of students, there is a lot of rush of students who want to come here, who want to pursue their masters here. So because of that, the universities have started to take interviews as well. So for my course, right now, when I applied, I there was no such process of interview. We just have to apply through our LOR and SOP, our mark sheets and all that. But now they have started taking interviews. So first they'll review your application, they'll see your resume, they'll read your SOP, and they'll filter students out, and then they will take interview of those filtered students, and then after a few days they'll let you know whether you are admitted or not in the university. So the competition has increased a lot, especially for branches of computer and IT. So uh, take care of your soft skills as well. Try to be a good communicator, and uh, take workshops of the technologies you think you can do it well. For example, if someone is good on Python, if someone is good on Django, let your friends, let your classmates know about it. You can take workshop of your class, of your juniors as well. So that will not only help them to learn about that particular technology, but it will increase your communication skills as well. Okay, because being a good communicator is very important here. You have to give a lot of presentations, which weigh a lot for in your final marks. So communication is very important. Uh, so now, moving on to the courses. What right now I'm studying, or the pattern of courses which most of the universities follow here. Um, they it's not like they just focus on their final exam and final exam marks. They give the whole marking criteria is divided. They give assignments, and assignments have a particular weightage. They give projects, the projects have a particular weightage. Then we have to give two presentations, and both of those presentations have a particular weightage. We have to give presentation on two phases. Phase one, after completing one half of your project, you have to give phase one presentation. After completing the second half of your project, you have to give phase two presentation. And then it depends on instructor whether they want to take midterm exam or not. And also it depends on them if they want to take final exam or not. If they decide that this time they don't want to take final exam, they just want to grade you based on your presentation, based on your assignments, then they can do like that. So you have to be perfect in everything you do. And assignment is not just written theory. They give you code, they give you problems, you have to code them, you have to solve them, you have to submit them online. And they have a very strong software, Safe Assign, which catches plagiarism. So you just cannot copy code from anywhere, you have to make your own code. You cannot even copy code of your seniors or the passed out students 3 years back. You have to make your own code because it will catch the copied code in minutes. So concentrating on practical aspects as well, and yeah, a lot concentration, a lot emphasis on presentation. All because a lot of instructors don't take final exams; they just grade you based on few random quizzes they take in the classes, and your presence of mind during the classes and your presentation. So soft skills are equally important. And the passing marks here are 70. So out of 100, you have to score at least 70 to pass. It's not 30 or 23 like we used to have. It's you have to get at least 70 marks, and if even if you have got 69 marks, few instructors will give 1 mark more to pass you, but most of them won't give you. You have to get at least 70 marks for passing. And if you don't pass that particular exam, then you have to pay the fee of that particular course all over. So that would be really very costly, and we cannot afford that, because we have to if we came here through STS visa, then we have to pay 2 terms fees on our own, and paying a whole subject fee extra is, it would be very difficult for students here. So uh, concentrate a lot, at least concentrate a lot on assignments so that you can pass. If you feel that you cannot do well in examinations, then concentrate a lot on assignments. And right now, due to this COVID situation, our all of our classes have gone online, but the quality of education has remained the same. Uh, and they have distributed us in batches of 15 students, and each batch is allotted around 3 hours of lab session with the instructor online, so that the instructor can solve queries and doubts of students a bit more in a better way, because they have just kept 15 students in a single batch. Yes, so the quality of education is same, be it online class or in-person class. And um, as students, a lot of part-time job opportunities are available if we talk in general about Canada. But if there if the city is small and 2 or 3 universities are there in that particular city, then a lot of students would be living there, and so all of them would be searching for jobs. So it would be a bit difficult for them to find a part-time job. For example, here in Windsor itself, we have University of Windsor and St. Clair College in the Windsor city, and city is very small. So because of the more amount of students, getting a job here is a bit difficult if you compare it with other cities like Toronto. um, but after a few months, 2 or 3 months after coming here, you can get a job, and you can at least through that job pay your own fees, rent, and pay for the groceries. So that won't be much an issue if you are able to find a job in like 2 or 3 months after coming here. Which we have a few more questions. Uh, which country is better, USA or Canada? It completely depends upon you and which country you want to go. In the aspects of education, both are equal. Why I chose Canada was because uh, USA was a bit costly for me, and Canada, in comparative, if we could do comparison with USA, then Canada is a bit less costly. So but the quality of education in both of these countries is same. So if you just want to go there and study, then it would be good if you go in USA or Canada. But if your long-term goal is to stay there and settle there, then I think for USA right now it's a bit difficult, because getting H-1B visa, I think it's difficult. But for Canada, it's pretty easy. So if your long-term goal is to settle here in Canada, is to get PR, then you can think for Canada. We have another question. Can you tell the scope of MBA in Canada? Is it worth doing in Canada? I don't have much knowledge about MBA, but from what I know is it is very difficult for international students to get into MBA, because they demand around like what 3 or 4 years of experience in your branch in management, and with you have like you should have a really good score. So I think it's pretty difficult, but the scope of doing but if you get into MBA, then the job opportunities are very great. So if you are able to get into MBA, then it is very great, but I don't know uh, getting admission for that particular course, how it is. I don't have much information on that. Sorry for that. So I think that's all from my side. Um, we can, I think we can start the Q&A session then. Uh, if you guys have any questions, then let me know in the comment box below, and I will try to answer them as I can according to my knowledge. So about preparation of IELTS, um, I think there are a lot of uh, YouTube videos available online. Uh, there are a lot of channels, and through which you can uh, get the tips and the techniques for appearing for IELTS, which tips you should use, and those small tips would be very helpful during the exams. So there is one channel named IELTS Liz, Liz, that is Liz. I have watched all her videos. They are amazing. She gives awesome tips. So if it is possible, then please watch all of those videos before appearing for IELTS. And not only that, there are a lot of videos for your writing exam as well, and a lot of essays available for writing. So if you can go through maximum of them, all of them, then it would be great, because that will give you an overview, the format of how you should do your writing, so that uh, if you follow a particular format, then you would be able to reach the word limit, because there are two tasks in writing. First task is you'll be given a diagram, and you have to describe that, and you have to write minimum 150 words on that, and there is no maximum limit. And the second task is that you will be given an essay, and it may be anything, like a sentence will be given, and you have to tell that whether you agree or not, and you have to tell why you agree or why you disagree. And the second task, that is essay, at that time for that you have to write at least 250 words. So many of students struggle to reach the limit of 250. But if you follow a particular format, that is, you have to write 4 paragraphs. First would be introduction, the last would be summary, and the two in between would be body paragraphs. So if there is something and you are asked to write advantages and disadvantages, then you can write advantages in one body paragraph with example, and disadvantages in second body paragraph with example. So if you follow that particular format, then the limit of 250 words would be reached, and there's no maximum limit, but you should write till 280 words, and for task 1 you can write till 170 to 180 words. There is no maximum limit, I repeat, but it would be okay. It would be better if you write between 150 to 180 for task 1, and for task 2 between 250 to 280 words. Yeah. And for speaking, uh, you will be asked basic questions like from what town you belong, what type of shoes you prefer. I was asked that whether you prefer fancy shoes or you prefer comfortable shoes. Like these basic questions, these much basic questions would be asked that you would be able to answer easily, and then you will be given a topic. You would be given 1 minute to prepare, and then you can speak till maximum till 2 minutes, and at least you have to speak till 1 minute. And then based on that topic, you will be asked questions in the third part. Okay, so and the person who is taking your speaking test would be very liberal. He wouldn't be strict. Just be normal. Don't panic, and just give your speaking. Just be try to be as fluent as possible, and try to be as normal as possible. Don't speak in a way that it seems that you have crammed income. Just try to make it a normal conversation, and you would be very good to go. Um, what is the procedure for Canada Express entry? I don't have um, much knowledge about Express entry because I came here on student visa. But what I know is you have to collect a few points which you would get based on your IELTS score and based on your experience. And if you read that point, if you collect that much point, then you can get PR and express entry. But I don't know exact procedure because I haven't gone through that yet, so I cannot answer that question in detail. We have one more question. Um, should I know French before going to Canada? Is it necessary? French and English are official languages of Canada. So if you know French, then it would be great because it would be you would be open to more opportunities when you go for a job. But it is not mandatory for you to know French. But if you know, then it would be great. But yeah, it is not mandatory. Okay. If you have any more questions, we have a few more minutes. Uh, we have which coaching institute do you recommend for preparing IELTS? Uh, all of the coaching institutes give you 1 or 2 demo sessions, so you can go on the institute of your interest and be there for demo lecture. And if you feel that is good, then you can go for that institute. But what I mainly prepared for is from YouTube, because a lot of videos, lot of good content is available on YouTube, and there are a lot of blogs as well. So please refer to every blog you can, every video you can, and that will help you a lot, because it has helped me a lot. I have watched a lot of videos. For writing also, I have watched videos because they show the format, they show the technique, uh, how you can use the punctuations, how you can use vocabulary, which words you can use, which words you should not use. All of those things are shown in very nice way on YouTube. But if you think you need extra practice, then yes, you could join any coaching institute. Uh, Make sure you attend the demo lecture and like go whichever institute interests you. We have a few more minutes if you have any questions. So I guess I will end now if we don't have any questions in a minute or two. Oh, thank you, Nancy. We have one more question. Yes, is there any scholarship for international students? Mm, yes, there are scholarships available, but to my knowledge, you can apply for them after coming here. You have to meet the registrar of the university and then get details of the scholarship. Uh, if there, I don't know if there are any scholarships that you could get before coming here or before paying the 2 terms tuition fees. We'll have to do a bit of research on that. But to my knowledge, you can come here and ask at the registrar office if you are eligible for a scholarship or not. And if any one of you is planning to come here, if you have any more doubts, then you can reach me at hmangukia9@gmail.com. I would be happy to help. I guess we should end the session now then. Please connect to me if you have any doubts regarding any of the things I've said, or if there is anything I missed and you still want to ask something about, then please let me know. Oh yeah, we have one more question. Which type of questions can we expect at the time of admission interview? So I had interview from University of Dalhousie of Nova Scotia, and I was asked a few theoretical questions like advantages and disadvantages of cloud computing, and I was given a question, and I had to write pseudocode in any language that I am comfortable. So you can use Java, you can use Python, you can use C or C++, anything you're comfortable with for writing that pseudocode. Uh, the question was that there is a shopping cart and you have to add a few items in that cart of pre-decided cost, and then after adding those items you have to click on button buy now, and then finish should be printed on the screen. So yeah, that was the pseudocode. And one other task I was given was there was a priorly made code was given, and that was given. So I had to find the error on the code because that particular output, we were not getting that particular output. So you had to find the bug and the error of from the code and correct it, and we should get the output mentioned in the question. So these were the three types of questions that I was asked during my interview. But here in University of Windsor, I wasn't. No interview was taken at during the admission uh, my time. But now, right now, they are taking interviews. Thank you, Abhishek. If you have any more questions, then you can ask right now. I'll be ending the session in 1 minute. So if you have any questions. Okay, I guess then this would be the end of my session. So it was really good to talk about what my experience was. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.